Hello, English learners. Welcome back to another show with us here at English Pod. My name is Marco.
And I'm Erica.
And today we're bringing you another romantic lesson, but a little bit sad as well.
That's right. Today, unfortunately, our couple is going to be breaking up.
Right, so it's a little bit sad today, but it's going to be good because we're going to be teaching you some great words and phrases that you can use when you are faced in this situation.
That's right. And so we're going to learn some phrases for breaking up and also some phrases for staying together.
All right, so let's listen to the dialogue for the first time and see what happens with our young couple.
Honey, do you have a second?
Sure. Are you okay? You seem a bit worried. What's on your mind?
We need to talk.
Okay.
I've been thinking, and well, I think we need to start seeing other people.
What? Why? I mean, we've had our ups and downs, and we have the occasional disagreement, but we're happy together, aren't we?
That's just it. I'm not happy anymore, Tim. It's not you, it's me. I know that I can be hard to deal with, and you're a great guy. You're the type of guy that any woman would kill for.
So, what are you saying? You're breaking up with me because I'm perfect?
Tim, you are too good for me. You deserve someone who can make you smile and make you happy the way that you made me happy. I could say that I'll be all you need, but that'd be a lie. I know I'd only hurt you. I know I'd only make you cry.
Baby, come on, don't do this to me. Whatever it is, we can work it out. Just give me another chance. I know that we can get through this, but we gotta stick together. Don't leave me.
I can't, Tim. I hope someday you can find some way to understand. I'm only doing this for you. I don't really want to go, but deep in my heart, I know this is the kindest thing to do.
Laura.
Here are your keys. I'll send my sister to pick up the rest of my things next week. I'm sorry, Tim. I wish you all the best, and I hope that one day we can meet again. I'll always love you. Goodbye.
Okay, so a pretty sad ending to this relationship, isn't it?
Yeah, but I don't think the girl was very moved or very sad by breaking up with him.
I wonder why. Maybe she's got some other boyfriend somewhere else.
Maybe. Well, as you mentioned, we listened to some great phrases, and it's time for us to take a look at them now in Fluency Builder.
Fluency Builder.
Okay, here we're going to focus on phrases that people use when they break up. So maybe you've heard these in movies, and we're going to look at the meaning now.
All right, our first phrase, as we heard, she started by saying, "We need to talk."
We need to talk.
All right, so it's very direct sentence, we need to talk.
So when you tell someone, we need to talk, you're telling them that you want to talk about a serious thing, right?
Right. So if somebody tells you we need to talk, you know that you are going to talk about a very serious matter.
Yeah, a problem or a breakup or something.
And after that, she told him that they should start seeing other people.
Start seeing other people.
Okay, I think we need to start seeing other people.
To see other people.
All right, so this is very easy to understand.
Yep.
It means to
date other people.
Okay, so it basically means that you will break up.
Yep.
It's an indirect way of saying that, right?
Yeah, you're not saying, "Hey, let's stop dating." You're saying, "Oh, well, maybe we should date other people," and kind of giving the idea that you will still date each other, but everyone knows you won't.
All right, so let's start seeing other people. Now for our third phrase.
She says, "It's not you, it's me."
It's not you, it's me.
It's not you, it's me.
Now, this is a very cliche phrase, and you hear it all the time in movies, and, well, some people still use it, right?
Yeah, everyone says this. I've heard this. I've said this.
Okay.
It means basically, I'm the problem. You're not the problem. I'm the problem.
Right, so I am breaking up with you because it's my fault, not your fault.
Yeah. So it's kind of a nice way to break up with someone, but actually, everyone knows that it's kind of a lie.
Not true, right?
Yeah.
It is you.
Yeah.
You are the problem.
Yeah.
All right. So it's not you, it's me. And then, well, in order to emphasize this, that it's not his fault, she said that, "I know I'm hard to deal with."
So hard to deal with.
Okay, if somebody is hard to deal with.
They're maybe difficult to talk to, difficult to please, maybe difficult to manage.
Okay, so it's very difficult to talk to that person. All right, hard to deal with. It's only for people. You can't use it for a situation or something else?
No, you can use it for people or situations or even sometimes things. So, for example, I can say, I find this problem at work so hard to deal with.
Okay, hard to deal with.
Yep.
So we've seen these 4 phrases that we can use to break up with someone. And, well, let's listen to our dialogue again. We're going to slow it down a little bit, and then we'll come back and look at some other phrases to stay together with someone.
Honey, do you have a second?
Sure. Are you okay? You seem a bit worried. What's on your mind?
We need to talk.
Okay.
I've been thinking, and well, I think we need to start seeing other people.
What? Why? I mean, we've had our ups and downs, and we have the occasional disagreement, but we're happy together, aren't we?
That's just it. I'm not happy anymore, Tim. It's not you, it's me. I know that I can be hard to deal with, and you're a great guy. You're the type of guy that any woman would kill for.
So, what are you saying? You're breaking up with me because I'm perfect?
Tim, you are too good for me. You deserve someone who can make you smile and make you happy the way that you made me happy. I could say that I'll be all you need, but that'd be a lie. I know I'd only hurt you. I know I'd only make you cry.
Baby, come on, don't do this to me. Whatever it is, we can work it out. Just give me another chance. I know that we can get through this, but we gotta stick together. Don't leave me.
I can't, Tim. I hope someday you can find some way to understand. I'm only doing this for you. I don't really want to go, but deep in my heart, I know this is the kindest thing to do.
Laura.
Here are your keys. I'll send my sister to pick up the rest of my things next week. I'm sorry, Tim. I wish you all the best, and I hope that one day we can meet again. I'll always love you. Goodbye.
Okay, so as you said, we're now going to focus on the phrases you use to stay in a relationship with someone. So let's look at those now in Fluency Builder Part 2.
Fluency Builder.
So the girl was trying to break up with him, and he kept on trying to convince her to stay.
That's right.
And one of the things he said was, we've had our ups and downs.
We've had our ups and downs.
Ups and downs.
Well, ups and downs are good times and bad times.
Right, so the good times would be the
Ups.
and the bad times.
Obviously the downs.
All right, so it's an informal way of saying good times, bad times. Mm-hmm. So they've had their ups and downs, and he said we can work it out.
We can work it out.
So whatever the problem is, we can work it out.
So why don't we hear some examples of how this phrase is used, and that will help us understand it a bit better.
Example 1.
Peter and Claudia were having some problems, but they finally worked out their personal differences.
Example 2.
We need to work out a new marketing plan for this upcoming quarter.
Example 3.
After an hour, I finally worked out the answer to this math problem.
Okay, so to work something out means to find a solution for
Yeah,
it.
to solve the problem.
To solve the problem. And again, he kept on insisting and saying, well, we can get through this.
We can get through this.
Okay, get through this.
So to get through something.
What does it mean to get through something?
Well, basically to survive a difficult situation.
All right.
Or live through a difficult time.
Okay, so for them, the difficult time was this in their relationship.
Yeah, or maybe you're having a problem at work and you might say, hey guys, don't worry, we can get through this. Just give us one more week.
Okay, very good. And well, as he was saying that they can get through this, he mentioned that they have to stick together.
To stick together.
We gotta stick together.
Stick together.
So again, to stick.
So when something sticks together, it stays together like glue.
Right, so they have to be a team and not separate in order to solve their problems.
Exactly. It gives you the idea that they're going to work together and stay together.
Okay, very good. So Let's stick it together. All right, so again, we have 4 great phrases to convince somebody or to say that you want to stay together in a relationship, right?
Yeah, that's right. So I think it'll help us to understand these if we hear them one more time in the dialogue.
Honey, do you have a second?
Sure. Are you okay? You seem a bit worried. What's on your mind?
We need to talk.
Okay.
I've been thinking, and well, I think we need to start seeing other people.
What? Why? I mean, we've had our ups and downs, and we have the occasional disagreement, but we're happy together, aren't we?
That's just it. I'm not happy anymore, Tim. It's not you, it's me. I know that I can be hard to deal with, and you're a great guy. You're the type of guy that any woman would kill for.
So, what are you saying? You're breaking up with me because I'm perfect?
Tim, you are too good for me. You deserve someone who can make you smile and make you happy the way that you made me happy. I could say that I'll be all you need, but that'd be a lie. I know I'd only hurt you. I know I'd only make you cry.
Baby, come on, don't do this to me. Whatever it is, we can work it out. Just give me another chance. I know that we can get through this, but we gotta stick together. Don't leave me.
I can't, Tim. I hope someday you can find some way to understand. I'm only doing this for you. I don't really want to go, but deep in my heart, I know this is the kindest thing to do.
Laura.
Here are your keys. I'll send my sister to pick up the rest of my things next week. I'm sorry, Tim. I wish you all the best, and I hope that one day we can meet again. I'll always love you. Goodbye.
All right, so breaking up can be a difficult situation, especially if you're the one breaking up, right?
Well, I guess it's never happy if you're the person who's being broken up with or you're the person doing the breaking up. But you know what? I really noticed that a lot of the phrases the girl used to break up were very, cliche, like you said. They were very
common.
Too common. Mm-hmm. And kind of a joke almost.
So the phrase, it's not you, it's me, it's one of them.
Yep. And she also said, you deserve better.
You deserve someone better.
Yeah.
That's a very common one, saying, I'm not good enough for you.
Yeah, but again, it kind of it loses its meaning, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm. And also another phrase that's very cliche, but it wasn't in our dialogue, was, maybe the timing is just not right.
Yeah, people say that all the time.
Yeah, so they say, no, the timing is not right. It's not the appropriate time to be together.
Yeah, that's just an excuse for not wanting to date that special person.
Exactly. So it can be a difficult situation, and people do it every day through letters,
yep.
Sometimes through the phone.
Yep.
In this case, they were breaking up in person.
Mm-hmm.
So listeners, why don't you tell us if you have any stories of breaking up with someone, or maybe somebody broke up with you?
Have you ever had problems in a relationship? Or maybe you know someone who went through a breakup. Share your own stories in the comments, because today we start a story about love, problems, and maybe even some funny moments too. Now, let's begin. There was once a young couple, Emma and Daniel. They met in college, and at first, everything was wonderful. Emma loved how Daniel always made her laugh, and Daniel liked how Emma always supported him in his studies. In the beginning, they felt like the perfect team. But you know how it goes. After some time, things started to change. Emma began to notice that Daniel was always busy with his phone. He said he was reading the news, but Emma joked, "Really? Do you read the news for 3 hours straight? Maybe you're reading the story of how to become a superhero?" Daniel laughed, but inside, Emma was not so happy. Daniel, on the other hand, felt that Emma sometimes spent too much time talking with her friends. One evening, he said, "Emma, I think your phone battery talks more with your friends than you do with me." Emma laughed, but she also thought about his words. It was not a big fight, but it was the beginning of small problems. And as we all know, small problems can slowly grow if we don't talk about them. At first, Emma and Daniel tried to ignore it. They still went out to eat pizza together, they watched movies, and they took selfies. But the smiles in their photos, well, they were not as bright as before. One evening, they were at a cafe. Emma ordered her favorite strawberry milkshake, and Daniel ordered black coffee. Emma looked at him and said, "Daniel, how can you drink something so bitter?" Daniel answered, "Because it matches my soul after paying the electricity bill." They both laughed, but Emma felt that the jokes were covering something deeper. Little by little, they both started to feel the distance. Emma wondered, is he really happy with me? Daniel thought, does she really understand me anymore? And so their story of love and problems slowly began to move toward something neither of them wanted to face, the possibility of breaking up. But of course, the decision was not made yet. This was just the beginning. As days passed, Emma and Daniel felt that something was not the same anymore. They still cared for each other, but the small problems began to grow. One Saturday afternoon, Emma wanted to go shopping. She said, "Daniel, come with me. I just need 10 minutes." Daniel laughed and answered, "Emma, you always say 10 minutes, but last time the sun went down, the moon came up, and we were still in the shoe store." Emma smiled, but she also rolled her eyes. She thought, he never wants to do what I enjoy. On the other side, Daniel wanted to stay home and play his guitar. He said, "Emma, music relaxes me. Can I just play for a while?" But Emma felt ignored. She said, "So your guitar understands you better than I do?" They didn't want to hurt each other, but their words sometimes came out sharper than they planned. It was like throwing popcorn at someone. It seems soft, but after 50 times, it gets annoying. One evening, they went to watch a romantic movie. In the middle of the movie, the couple on the screen kissed. Emma looked at Daniel and whispered, "Why don't we do that anymore?" Daniel replied softly, "Because we're busy arguing about pizza toppings." Emma didn't laugh this time. She stayed quiet. Silence started to grow between them. At dinner, they didn't talk as much. When Emma tried to share her day, Daniel was tired. When Daniel wanted to explain his stress, Emma didn't listen carefully. Inside, both of them still loved each other, but they felt far apart. Emma thought, maybe we don't understand each other anymore. Daniel wondered, maybe we are just too different. It was not a big fight yet, but the little cracks in their relationship were becoming bigger, like a wall slowly breaking apart. They both knew something had to change, but neither of them was brave enough to say the first hard words. And that silence was the most dangerous part. One Sunday morning, Emma and Daniel went for a walk in the park. The weather was nice, the birds were singing, and even the ice cream seller looked happy. But Emma and Daniel, well, they were quiet. Emma finally broke the silence. She said, "Daniel, do you feel like we are different now?" Daniel looked at her and said, "Different? Emma, we're so different that if we were food, you'd be sweet cake and I'd be spicy chili." Emma laughed a little, but her smile quickly faded. "I'm serious," she said. We used to talk for hours. Now we just sit. Daniel sighed. I know. I feel it too. But every time I try to talk, we end up fighting about something small. Like yesterday, the socks. Yes, the socks. The night before, Daniel had left his socks on the sofa. Emma shouted, "Why are your socks here? Are they watching TV?" Daniel answered, "Maybe they wanted to see the news." It was funny for 2 seconds, but then they started arguing again. And the truth was, it wasn't about the socks at all. It was about feeling unimportant to each other. As they walked further, Emma whispered, Maybe we need space." Daniel stopped. "Space? Like astronauts?" he asked, trying to make a joke. Emma shook her head. "No, Daniel. I mean, maybe we should think about what we really want." Daniel didn't answer right away. He kicked a small stone on the path and finally said, "I don't want to lose you, Emma, but I also don't want us to keep hurting each other." It was the first time they both admitted their feelings openly. They were not ready to say goodbye yet, but the word breakup quietly entered both of their minds, like an uninvited guest at a party. And that thought made their hearts heavy. The walk in the park ended without more words. Emma went home thinking, maybe love is not always enough. Daniel thought, maybe we need to be brave, even if it hurts. Something was about to change in their story, and the change was coming soon. The next week, things got worse. Emma and Daniel tried to act normal, but their small problems were waiting like little monsters, ready to jump out at any moment. One evening, Emma cooked dinner. She made pasta with tomato sauce, Daniel's favorite. She placed the plate on the table and said, "Here you go, chef's special." Daniel smiled and took a bite. But then he said, "It's good, but maybe a little too salty." Emma's face changed immediately. "Too salty? Daniel, I followed the recipe exactly." Daniel laughed nervously. "I didn't mean it badly. I'm just saying..." Emma cut him off. "You never appreciate what I do." Daniel put down his fork. "That's not true, Emma. I do appreciate you. But sometimes it feels like you don't listen to me either. Like yesterday when I said I was tired and you wanted to go shopping anyway." Emma crossed her arms. "So now I'm selfish? Is that what you think?" Daniel raised his voice. "I didn't say selfish, but Emma, do you realize we argue almost every day now over food, socks, shopping, everything?" There was silence for a moment. The pasta sat between them like a witness to the fight. Emma whispered, "Maybe we're not happy anymore." Daniel's heart sank. He wanted to say, "No, that's not true." But deep inside, he felt it was true. Emma looked at him with teary eyes and said softly, "I don't want to fight with you, Daniel. I want us to be like before, but I don't know if we can." Daniel leaned back in his chair. He tried to make a small joke to lighten the mood. "Well, at least the pasta is salty enough to replace my tears." Emma laughed a little, but then she sighed. The laugh was short and sad. That night, they didn't watch TV together. They didn't take their usual evening walk. They just sat in different rooms, thinking about everything. The idea of breaking up, which was only a quiet thought before, was now standing loudly between them, like a big sign they could no longer ignore. And both of them knew, sooner or later, they would have to face it. The next day, Emma and Daniel sat together in the living room. The air felt heavy, like a room full of unsaid words. Finally, Emma took a deep breath and said, "Daniel, we need to talk." Oh no, we all know what "we need to talk" usually means. It's never, "we need to talk, I bought you a pizza." No, it's always something serious. Daniel nodded. "Okay, Emma, let's talk." Emma looked down at her hands. "I don't want us to keep pretending everything is fine. We've been fighting too much. I feel like we don't make each other happy anymore." Daniel was quiet for a moment. Then he said, "I feel the same. And it hurts to say that because I love you, Emma. But love doesn't feel easy anymore. It feels heavy." Emma's eyes filled with tears. "I know. I love you too. But maybe love alone is not enough." Daniel leaned forward. "So, what do we do? Do we keep trying? Or..." He stopped. He couldn't finish the sentence. "Or do we break up?" The words hung in the air like thunder. Neither of them wanted to say it out loud, but now it was real. Daniel whispered, "I never thought we'd get here." Emma nodded. "Me neither. But sometimes people grow apart. It doesn't mean we're bad people. It just means we've changed." For a moment, they both smiled sadly. Daniel tried to joke. "Well, at least we didn't break up over pineapple on pizza. That would be tragic." Emma laughed through her tears. "True, that would be the real crime." The laughter faded quickly, and the silence returned. But this time, it wasn't angry silence. It was honest silence, the kind that comes when two people know the truth but are afraid to accept it. Emma whispered, "Maybe the kindest thing we can do is to let each other go." Daniel closed his eyes and nodded slowly. "Maybe you're right." And with that, the first real step toward their breakup had been taken. After that difficult conversation, Emma and Daniel didn't break up immediately. They decided to give themselves a little time, a few days to think, to breathe, and to prepare their hearts. Emma spent more time with her friends. She went for coffee with Lisa, her best friend. Lisa asked, "So, how are things with Daniel?" Emma gave a small, sad smile. "We're not great. We're thinking about breaking up." Lisa's eyes grew wide. "Oh no, but you two were like peanut butter and jelly." But even peanut butter and jelly can make a person tired if you eat it every single day. Meanwhile, Daniel tried to distract himself. He went out to play football with his buddies. But during the game, he missed the ball 3 times in a row. One of his friends shouted, "Daniel, are you playing football or are you daydreaming about socks again?" Everyone laughed. But Daniel knew his mind was somewhere else, with Emma. At night, Emma sat on her bed, looking at old photos of her and Daniel. She remembered the good times, Their first trip together, their silly jokes, the way he used to surprise her with chocolate when she was stressed. She whispered to herself, "We really did have some beautiful moments." Daniel also looked through his phone. He scrolled past pictures of their pizza nights and movie dates. He shook his head and said, "Why do I only have photos of her smiling and me eating?" He laughed a little, but then his eyes watered. They both realized something important. Breaking up didn't mean those happy memories weren't real. They were real, and they would always be a part of their story. But now, the story was changing. Emma thought, I need to learn how to be happy on my own again. Daniel thought, I need to let her go, even if it hurts. It wasn't easy. In fact, it felt like trying to carry a bag full of rocks. But deep inside, they both knew they were slowly preparing for the end and for a new beginning. A few days later, Emma and Daniel met at their favorite cafe, the same place where they had shared many happy memories. The smell of fresh coffee filled the air, but this time, the atmosphere between them was quiet and serious. Emma stirred her drink slowly. She didn't even touch her favorite strawberry milkshake. Daniel noticed and said softly, "Wow, Emma, if you're not drinking your milkshake, things must be really serious." Yeah, they are. Daniel took a deep breath. I've been thinking a lot, and I realized something. I don't want us to keep hurting each other. I love you, but maybe loving you means letting you go. Emma's eyes filled with tears. I've been thinking the same. I'll always care about you, Daniel, but staying together when we're unhappy isn't fair for either of us. They both sat quietly for a moment, listening to the clinking of cups and the soft music in the background. It was strange. Here they were, making one of the hardest decisions of their lives, and the world outside kept moving as if nothing was happening. Finally, Emma reached across the table and held Daniel's hand. "Thank you for everything, Daniel. Thank you for the laughter, the memories, even the silly arguments about socks and pizza." Daniel chuckled through his tears. "Yeah, those socks will probably miss you more than I do." Emma laughed and shook her head. "Don't worry, I'll send them a goodbye letter." For a few seconds, they both laughed together, just like old times. But then the laughter faded, and the reality came back. Daniel whispered, "So, this is goodbye?" Emma nodded. "Yes, but it's not goodbye forever. It's just goodbye to us as a couple. We can still wish each other happiness." Daniel squeezed her hand one last time, then let go. And in that moment, both of them knew it was truly over. Their love story had come to an end, not with anger, but with acceptance. After their goodbye at the cafe, Emma and Daniel went their separate ways. It felt strange at first. The days seemed quieter, almost too quiet. No more daily texts, no more silly jokes about socks, and no more arguments about pizza toppings. For Emma, the first week was the hardest. She kept checking her phone, expecting a message from Daniel. But then she reminded herself, this is the start of something new. I need to learn to enjoy my own company again. So she began trying new things. She joined a yoga class. On the first day, when the teacher said, "Take a deep breath and relax," Emma accidentally sneezed so loudly that everyone laughed. She laughed too, and for the first time in days, she felt a little lighter. Daniel also struggled at first. He missed Emma's smile, her way of teasing him, and even her complaints about his socks. But he started spending more time with his guitar. He wrote a new song, not a sad one, but a funny one called Goodbye Socks. His friends loved it, and he realized laughter could heal too. Both of them slowly began to see that breaking up wasn't the end of happiness. It was just a turn in the road, leading them to discover who they really were. Emma thought, I may not be with Daniel anymore, but I'm stronger now. Daniel thought, I may not have Emma, but I'm finding myself again. They would always remember their story. The good times, the silly fights, the laughter, and even the tears. But instead of feeling bitter, they chose to feel thankful. One day, months later, Emma passed by the cafe where they had said goodbye. She smiled and whispered, Thank you for the memories, Daniel. And somewhere else in the city, Daniel played his guitar and sang his funny song, smiling as he remembered Emma. Their love story had ended, but their lives were just beginning again, full of hope, growth, and new adventures. Because sometimes breaking up isn't the end of love. It's the beginning of learning to love yourself.
Listen to the meaning, then say the vocabulary word.
Good times and bad times.
Ups and downs.
To cancel or postpone.
Call off.
End the romantic relationship.
Break up.
To begin living a stable and orderly life.
Settle down.
Solve, overcome.
Work out.
To live together in a sexual relationship, especially when not legally married.
Cohabit.
Solve, overcome.
Get through.
To form or make a proposal, especially of marriage.
Propose.
Stay together and help each other.
Stick together.
Be sexually unfaithful to one's partner in marriage.
Cheat on. Let's try that faster.
Solve, overcome.
Work out.
Solve, overcome.
Get through.
To form or make a proposal, especially of marriage.
Propose.
To live together in a sexual relationship, especially when not legally married.
Cohabit.
Be sexually unfaithful to one's partner in marriage.
Cheat on.
Good times and bad times.
Ups and downs.
To begin living a stable and orderly life.
Settle down.
Stay together and help each other.
Stick together.
To cancel or postpone.
Call off.
End the romantic relationship.
Break up. Now say the word and hear it in a sentence. Ups and downs. We need to think about the ups and downs of getting a dog. Ups and downs. Every relationship has its ups and downs. It's completely normal, so don't worry about it. Ups and downs. There are many ups and downs of living with your parents, but I have no other choice. Break up. Carol was very sad when her boyfriend decided to break up with her. Break up. I think that you need to think about why you are breaking up with Jim. He's a great guy. Break up. Betty, I really care about you, but I think it's time we break up. I'm sorry. Work out. Peter and Claudia were having some problems, but they finally worked out their personal differences. Work out. We need to work out a new marketing plan for this upcoming quarter. Work out. After an hour, I finally worked out the answer to this math problem. Get through. I finally got through this difficult homework assignment. Get through. Our company is having some very difficult problems, but we are confident that we can get through this. Get through. The president is implementing new tax policies in order to get through the recession. Stick together. We have a better chance of surviving out here in the woods if we stick together. Stick together. Laura's family stuck together throughout the economic crisis. Stick together. No matter what happens, we are sticking together, okay?
So, a relationship is ending. It's a tough spot, right? It doesn't matter if you're the one saying the words or the one hearing them. You know, what's so weird is how the things we say can feel so personal, but at the same time kind of universal. Like we're all reading from the same script. Well, today we're going to try and decode that script. We're talking about the universal language of a breakup. So, what does a breakup actually sound like? I mean, yeah, there are tears, there's sadness. We all know that part. But underneath all that, there's often this script, a collection of words and phrases that pretty much tell you the end is near. So what are they? And what are we really saying when we use them?
You know, to really get a handle on how this all works in the real world, I think the best way is to follow a story. So let's meet a couple, Emma and Daniel. Their journey is going to show us exactly how a relationship can unravel, you know, from those first tiny cracks all the way to that final difficult goodbye.
All right, so section 1, the first cracks appear. And this subtitle is perfect, when small problems start speaking loudly. Because, let's be real, most relationships don't just, kaboom, explode out of nowhere. For Emma and Daniel, it started with these little things, almost funny issues at first, that over time started to hint at much bigger problems underneath.
Okay, so it started with socks on the sofa. I know, it sounds so silly, right? But this was a real thing for them. Emma would see Daniel's socks just sitting there and yell something like, "Oh, are the socks watching TV now?" And sure, it was a joke on the surface, but underneath, it was this nagging feeling, that feeling of being ignored, you know? Like you're not that important. And it wasn't just the socks. Even their jokes started to feel off, a little heavy. Like Daniel would order a super bitter black coffee and say something like, "This matches my soul after paying the electric bill." And yeah, they'd both laugh, but for Emma, it felt like these jokes were becoming a way to hide from what was really going on, a way to cover up this growing distance between them.
And all of this really brings us to that classic phrase, right? Ups and downs. I mean, every single relationship has them, that's just life. But for Emma and Daniel, this simple idea actually became a source of conflict. See, Daniel just thought, hey, this is normal, all couples go through this. But for Emma, well, it started to feel like the downs were the only direction they were going.
So as you can imagine, all these little cracks, they just kept getting bigger. And eventually, they led to that one pivotal moment, you know the one I'm talking about, where all that tension that's been bubbling under the surface it just boils over. And you're left with no choice but to have that direct, really, really difficult conversation.
And there it is. Daniel, we need to talk. Wow. Just 4 words, but they might just be the most dreaded 4 words in the entire English language. The second Emma said them, the air just changed. Both of them knew, right then and there, that nothing was ever going to be the same. There's a reason this phrase is like a giant warning bell, right? It just slices right through any small talk, any normal conversation, and bam! It signals something is seriously wrong. It's pretty much the unofficial starting pistol for so many of these breakup conversations.
And it's kind of funny, because there often is this unofficial script, almost like a breakup playbook. It kicks off with that opener, "We need to talk." Then it usually moves into a softer, more indirect way of saying what's happening. And finally, you get the justification. That part that's designed to, try and soften the blow.
So that's second step, to start seeing other people. This is such a classic example of that indirect approach. Why say it this way? Well, it avoids the really harsh, blunt words, "let's break up," but the message is still crystal clear. It's a way of trying to gently ease into that final, painful decision.
Okay, so now that we're talking about this playbook, let's really get into it. Let's decode the cliches. These are the lines we hear over and over again, in movies, on TV, and definitely in real life. And trust me, they are packed with hidden meaning.
And here it is, the big one. It's not you, it's me. This phrase is so common it's basically a meme at this point. And yeah, Emma used this exact line on Daniel. It's the perfect example of someone trying to take all the blame, hoping it'll make the other person feel just a little bit better.
But here's the problem with that phrase, isn't it? Even if the person saying it is genuinely trying to take the blame, to be the bad guy, how does it usually land? It often feels hollow, like a cliche, almost like a convenient way to get out of explaining the real reasons the relationship is ending. And this line definitely doesn't travel alone. Welcome to the Breakup Cliché Hall of Fame. We've got hits like "You Deserve Someone Better," or the classic, "Maybe the timing is just not right." And let's not forget, "I'm only doing this for you." They all kind of do the same job, right? They're trying to end things while also managing the other person's emotions, even if, the words don't always feel 100% sincere.
Okay, but that's just one side of the conversation. What about the other side? For every person trying to end things, there's often someone fighting desperately to hold it all together. And their language? Well, it's a completely different world.
Just look at this comparison. The difference is, wow, it's stark. On one side, you have the language of separation. Start seeing other people. On the other side, you hear the language of unity. We can work it out. We got to stick together. It is a complete verbal tug of war happening in real time. And these phrases that Daniel used, they're all about one thing: collaboration. Work it out literally means let's find a solution together. Stick together means let's be a team, fighting the problem, not each other. It's a language that's just full of hope, even when everything looks so bleak.
But in Emma and Daniel's story, these pleas, they just didn't work. The decision was made. So what happens next? What happens after the goodbye? Because the end of a relationship, it's rarely just a hard stop. More often than not, it's a transition.
And for both of them, that path forward was all about rediscovery. Emma joined a yoga class and found a new way to laugh. Even after a huge sneeze totally broke the silence and made the whole room crack up. And Daniel, he took his pain and channeled it into creativity. He actually wrote a funny song on his guitar and he called it "Goodbye Socks," the very thing they used to fight about.
And I think their story really shows us something important. An ending doesn't have to be just an end. It can actually be a really profound new beginning. It's this major shift from focusing all your energy on a shared love to, rediscovering how to love yourself again.
And that really just leaves us with one final thought to chew on. In that last conversation, Emma said that letting each other go was maybe the kindest thing to do. So I want to leave you with this question. When a relationship just isn't working anymore, is the greatest act of love not holding on tighter, but actually finding the courage to let go?
Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, we're really getting into something fundamental. It's about how we talk, or maybe how we try to talk, about relationships.
Mm-hmm.
Specifically, that really tricky language around, breakups, and also the words we use when we're trying desperately to, stay together.
It's fascinating, isn't it, how much weight those words carry?
Absolutely. And we've got some great source material for this deep dive. It's actually, kind of surprisingly, from an English learning resource.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. It had this really compelling dialogue of a couple breaking up, then a breakdown of common phrases, and this whole extended story about a couple, Emma and Daniel. It follows their whole relationship kind of unraveling.
Wow. Okay, so real narrative context.
Exactly. So our mission here is to unpack what's really going on with these words, not just what we say, but why. What does it show about our emotions, how we communicate, or maybe fail to? I think there are some genuinely surprising insights here.
And I think what's really powerful looking at this is how subtle language can be. These phrases can express deep feelings, sure, but they can also be, a mask, a shield almost.
Totally. It's about both connection and disconnection, hidden in plain sight.
Precisely.
Okay, so let's dive in. Starting with maybe the most classic, dreaded opening line for that conversation. That feeling you get in your stomach when someone says, "We need to talk."
Ugh, yeah, that one. It's not just words, is it? It's like a warning signal.
Yeah.
It immediately puts the other person on high alert. Defensive, maybe, even before you've said what the problem is. The phrase itself just sets this heavy, anxious tone.
Yeah, it sort of poisons the well from the start.
Kinda, yeah. It's fraught from the get-go.
So, okay, maybe someone isn't ready for that much directness. The source mentioned a slightly softer but still pretty clear one. Start seeing other people?
Yes. That's the soft launch breakup, you could say.
Yeah.
It's indirect. It avoids the harshness of "it's over." It frames it more like a suggestion, like, let's both move on, even if, let's be honest, it's usually one person's decision.
It feels like a bit of a social dance, trying not to be the bad guy.
Exactly. Trying to soften the blow, but the message is still there. Date other people, we're done.
Which leads us perfectly to maybe the biggest cliche of them all, the one that probably generates the most eye rolls. It's not you, it's me.
Oh, that one. Yeah. It's infamous.
Why does it stick around if everyone kind of knows it often feels like a lie?
Well, I think the intention originally was maybe good, like trying to protect the other person's feelings, shift the blame onto yourself.
Right, make it sound like you're the problem.
Exactly. But it's been so overused, it just feels insincere most of the time. It can come across as a way to avoid the real, maybe messier reasons, a shortcut out of an uncomfortable conversation.
A guilt transfer, almost.
Could be. Or just self-protection. Easier than admitting you've fallen out of love or you found someone else or you just don't want to be in it anymore.
And the source linked this to other ways of saying, it's me, like I'm hard to deal with.
Mm-hmm. That falls into a similar category. When someone says, "I'm hard to deal with," is it always genuine self-awareness?
Probably not always.
Right. It can function as another kind of shield, like, see, I'm flawed. It's my fault. We can't work, so you don't need to dig deeper. It gives them an out without having to get into the specifics.
The sources also threw in a couple of others in that vein. You deserve better, or I'm not good enough for you.
Yeah, those sound noble, don't they? Self-sacrificing almost.
Kinda.
But again, they often serve the same purpose. They let the person breaking up avoid the more difficult, perhaps more hurtful truths about why they want out. It's a way to end the conversation relatively quickly without true vulnerability.
Less messy, maybe, in the short term.
Potentially.
Yep.
But maybe less honest.
And one more that popped up in the analysis, super common. Maybe the timing is just not right.
The timing excuse, yeah. That's a classic polite dismissal.
Why is it so common?
It leaves the door slightly ambiguously ajar. It implies maybe later, under different stars, which gives a little bit of false hope, maybe?
Right. Doesn't feel quite as final.
Exactly. But usually it just means not now, and not now often means not ever. It avoids a direct no, but doesn't offer much real closure.
Wow. It's amazing how much is packed into these simple phrases. And I bet as you're listening, you've probably encountered some of these, right? Either said them or heard them. It's worth thinking about what they really felt like in that moment.
Definitely. The emotional weight is huge.
Okay, so let's flip the script entirely. Let's talk about the language used not to end things, but to fight for them, to hold on. The source brought up, we've had our ups and downs.
Yeah. And that's not just stating a fact. It's actually making an argument.
How so?
It's saying, look, difficulties are normal. All relationships have them. We've gotten through tough times before, remember. This is just another one. Our history proves we can handle it. It's an appeal to resilience, to shared experience.
Right. Don't jump ship just because it's stormy right now.
Precisely. And often following that comes something more active, more determined. we can work it out.
That sounds hopeful.
It is. It's a declaration of intent. To work something out means putting in effort, finding solutions together. It says, I believe we can fix this, and I'm willing to try. It's about commitment to the process.
Whether it's like personal issues or practical problems.
Exactly. Or even, as the source mentioned, working out a math problem. It's about tackling the difficulty.
And closely related, there's that sense of endurance in, we can get through this.
Yeah, that one really speaks to shared strength. Getting through something implies surviving a tough period. It's saying, this is hard, I know, but we together are stronger than this problem.
It's a call for unity against the hardship.
Absolutely. A plea to trust in the bond itself. We can endure this side by side.
Which brings us to another phrase emphasizing that unity. We got to stick together.
I like that one. Stick together. It's so visual, like glue. It means being a team, facing problems as a unit, not letting things pull you apart. It's about solidarity. Let's work together on this, not separately. We're stronger united.
Man, when you put them together like that, the ups and downs, work it out, get through this, stick together, it's a powerful narrative of hope and effort.
It really is. It's the language of investment, of believing something is worth saving, a complete contrast to the language of letting go.
Okay, this is where the deep dive gets really, really interesting. Because the source didn't just give us phrases, it gave us this whole story. Emma and Daniel.
Right, the narrative.
And it's brilliant because it shows these phrases, these feelings, playing out in like slow motion. You see how a relationship can unravel even when there's still love there.
Yeah.
It's the journey behind the breakup cliches.
Exactly. It provides that crucial context. It shows how small things, little annoyances, unsaid frustrations, they build up. It's the anatomy of how things fall apart.
So let's trace their story. It starts with these early signs of cracks. Emma notices Daniel's always on his phone, right? She jokes, reading the news for 3 hours straight.
Mm-hmm. And he has his own little jabs, like her phone battery, talking more to her friends than to him.
And the key thing here, the source points out, is the jokes.
Yes. The jokes become a way to mention a problem without actually dealing with it. They're like little warning flags masked as humor.
So resentment starts building, but it's unspoken.
Exactly. And distance grows because their priorities seem to be shifting, but they're not really talking about it, honestly, just these little digs.
And that leads to this growing distance and misunderstanding. Like the whole shopping thing. Emma says 10 minutes. Daniel laughs, knowing it'll be all day.
Right. Their different desires, shopping versus playing guitar, become friction points instead of things they could, navigate or compromise on.
And their words get sharper. I love that analogy in the source. Like throwing popcorn at someone seems soft, but after 50 times it gets annoying.
That's such a good image. And not big blow-ups necessarily, but this constant low-level irritation, weaponizing small talk, real listening fades.
And then that heartbreaking moment during the movie, Emma asks, why don't we do that anymore? Referring to something romantic on screen.
And Daniel's reply.
Wow.
Because we're busy arguing about pizza toppings.
Oof. That says it all, doesn't it?
It really does. The pizza toppings aren't the issue. The issue is that trivial things have replaced genuine connection. They feel far apart, as the source says.
So this sets the stage for the first real admissions. The walk in the park where Emma finally asks it directly, Daniel, do you feel like we are different now?
And even then, Daniel tries to deflect with that joke. If we were food, you'd be sweet cake and I'd be spicy chili.
But Emma pushes past it. And then the argument about the socks.
Which, again, the source brilliantly points out was not about the socks.
Right. It was about feeling unimportant to each other. That's huge.
It is. It's about feeling unseen, unheard. That's when the unspoken stuff finally starts bubbling up. And the idea of a breakup, even if not said out loud, starts to hover in the background.
And then Emma whispers it. Maybe we need space.
Followed by Daniel's admission after kicking that stone. I don't want to lose you, Emma, but I also don't want us to keep hurting each other.
Such a painful moment. The honesty.
A real turning point, voicing those deep fears and acknowledging that paradox. Love is there, but it's causing pain. It forces them to confront the possibility of separating.
Which leads almost inevitably to the breaking point. The dinner. Emma makes his favorite pasta.
And he says it's a little too salty.
Such a small thing, but it triggers everything.
Because it wasn't about the salt. It tapped into all the built-up feelings of not being appreciated, not being listened to. It was the final straw, in a way.
And Emma's careful. Maybe we're not happy anymore. And Daniel knows it's true.
That's the moment of realization. The big sign they could no longer ignore, as the source put it. And that's when Emma finally says,
Daniel, we need to talk.
And there it is, that phrase again. Rarely good news. But this time, the source notes, their silence afterwards wasn't angry. It was sad, honest.
So they have the difficult conversation. They both feel it. Love alone is not enough.
That's a tough truth to face. And the question just hangs there. Keep trying. Or let go.
Even then, Daniel cracks that joke about pineapple on pizza.
Which is so human, right? Finding humor even in the darkest moments. Emma laughs through tears.
And then Emma whispers what might be the core message. Maybe the kindest thing we can do is to let each other go.
That idea of kindness in a breakup, it's powerful. It reframes it not as failure, but as mutual respect for each other's potential happiness. Daniel agrees. The decision is made.
It's incredibly sad, but also compassionate.
I think so, yeah.
So the aftermath. They take time apart. Emma talks to her friend Lisa, who has that great peanut butter and jelly analogy.
Oh, I love that. Even the best things can make a person tired if you eat it every single day.
It captures it perfectly, right?
Right.
Sometimes even good fits just run their course.
Mm-hmm. And Daniel's playing football, but thinking about socks. Both looking at old photos, acknowledging the good times were real, but the story's changing.
It shows that processing takes time. It's not instant.
No, it's a journey. And their goodbye at the cafe.
Yeah.
Wow. Daniel saying, maybe loving you means letting you go.
And Emma's reply, not goodbye forever. It's just goodbye to us as a couple. And they even laugh about the socks one last time.
There's acceptance there. Sadness, but acceptance. And then you see them moving on, Emma doing yoga, Daniel writing that funny song, Goodbye Socks.
It's cathartic.
It really is. It shows that breaking up, while painful, isn't just an ending. It can be a start, a path to self-discovery, to growth. Their individual stories continue, just differently.
Emma and Daniel's story, it feels so specific, but the themes are universal, aren't they? Communication breakdown, the courage to face hard truths, choosing your own well-being.
Absolutely. It resonates because we see echoes of it in our own lives, our lives around us. The language, the emotions, the slow drift. It's all very human.
Okay, so wrapping up this deep dive, we've really seen how much emotional weight is packed into everyday phrases.
Mm-hmm.
From the tension in we need to talk to the often hollow feel of it's not you, it's me, and the determined hope in we can work it out.
And Emma and Daniel's story just drove it home. A relationship ending is rarely sudden. It's often this slow process full of unspoken things, misunderstandings, until those difficult, honest words finally have to come out.
Yeah.
And I think understanding this language, both for breaking up and for trying to reconcile, it gives us really valuable insights into ourselves, into others, into how we handle vulnerability and conflict. It's a big part of emotional intelligence, really.
Definitely. So here's something to leave you thinking about, something that really stood out from Emma and Daniel's story.
Mm-hmm.
The idea that sometimes breaking up isn't really the end of love. Sometimes it's actually the beginning of learning to love yourself.
That's powerful.
It really is. Thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive. We hope it gave you some things to reflect on about communication in all its messy, complex glory. We'll see you next time.